Hey guys, it's Dest Dol.
And it's Tolu.
And this is Under the Bed. And today we are joined with Limo Blaze.
Yes, yes, people.
Limoblaze in the house.
Thank you guys for having me.
I feel like you're matching the set. He's got the blue jumper, this green, and then the pillows kind of all
I planned
sinking
it, you
in.
know, because I looked at the set. I was like, what do I wear to this set that would make me stand
Blend in.
out?
Oh,
a
stand
bit?
out. Okay.
Not blend in.
Okay.
If I wanted to blend in, I'll wear white
Wear
and
green.
be like the cow. Be like the
No,
cow.
you know what it is? It blends in, but it also pops.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a good combination.
I guess that's
Liking
the
it.
word that I'm looking for to pop because I really want
popping. You popping.
want the episode to look good.
Oh, well, absolutely. We've actually decided to start the podcast a bit differently today. We're going to do something a bit more random and we're going to do
Okay.
2 truths and 1 lie.
Yeah.
Everyone has prepared their 2 truth and 1 lie
Yes.
apart from Tolu.
I have prepared
You have
mine.
one. All right,
I've got
well, you go
mine.
first.
No.
You should go
No,
first.
No, let's be guided.
Okay.
I think Limo, since you're a special guest, I think you should go first.
Do you know what? I back that. I back that.
I feel like mine would be the toughest though.
Let's go for it. I feel like we'll get
Or maybe
it.
we should leave him last.
Yes, that's what I
Alright,
think.
you go first then.
No, whoa. We said
Okay,
you're going
let me do
first.
mine.
Okay, go on.
My name is Tolu. Number 1.
Okay, say, you're going to
2.
say what she said earlier. When we
Number 2, I'm a Christian. Number
That's
3.
2 truths already. So the third one is a lie.
Number 3, I love Destiny.
Wait, where's the lie?
Can you
in
be
there?
serious? There's
Be
no lie.
serious.
She done 3 truths, basically.
Okay, number 1, me and actually you can't answer. Let's just do
Oh, Limo. Okay, cool.
Okay.
cool, cool.
Okay, number 1, I'm part Ghanaian. Number 1. Number 2, me and my brother have the same name. Number 3, I used to live in Scotland.
Being part Ghanaian is believable because I know you guys have been to Ghana before on a trip.
Oh, I haven't.
Don't say anything.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
This is
You and your brother having the same name is very common. But it could, so when you say the same name, it's not the same Tolu.
we can't give you any answers.
No, you got to give me something. When you say the same name, are you saying Tolu?
I don't know, it could be. Maybe.
Not because there could be 2 different Tolus in Yoruba.
What's your gut telling you?
Your brother's name is not Shalom, is it?
Nah, not my name not my government on the podcast.
Okay. What was the last one you said?
I used to live in Scotland.
Your part Ghanaian is a lie.
Okay,
You're locking that in.
nice.
Are we revealing now?
Yeah,
Let's
we should
reveal
reveal.
now. Yeah, go on.
So the lie is, I used to live in Scotland.
Almost said
She got you. She got you.
Nah, but that makes sense because you took so much time to come up with
With
the
that
third
one,
one.
yeah.
But I just thought of that off my head.
Yeah.
When they were thinking about theirs, I was playing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you were.
guys.
She's watching
Playing
Instagram
about.
stories. Waste man. All right, cool. So here's my ones. I broke my ankle during secondary school. I've been to number 10 Downing Street. I failed my A-levels.
I don't even know what 10 Downing Street is.
It's where the Prime
Prime
Minister
Minister
lives.
lives there.
What was the last one you said?
I failed my A-levels.
I know you definitely broke your ankle at some point. You were very energetic. That makes sense. You've been to 10 Downing Street. That is very possible.
What was the third one?
I failed my A-levels.
The lie is you've been to 10 Downing Street.
Okay, what do you think?
I think it's number 1.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're looking that in?
It could be number 2 though. Oh, this is so
What
bad
are you
if I
looking
don't
in?
get this. Okay, I'm looking at number 1.
Okay. I can confirm. Tolu knows me. I never broken my ankles.
I'm
I got
gassed.
strong ankles. But yeah, I did fail my A-levels. And
I remember
did-
that one because I know we had a conversation one time about that.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Did we? Yeah, and I have been to number 10 Downing Street.
What are you doing there?
Some Shakespeare thing I was doing there. But good job. How did you know?
I don't know. Discernment.
Oh, shut up. All right, cool. Go on, Limo.
I gotta make this one tough for you guys. 3. My thing is gonna be like super weird. All of
Okay.
it. First one, on the day of my baptism, I got into a fight on my way back. That's one.
I like these already. Yeah, I like these.
Okay.
2, I used to go by a different name. I used to have a different name.
Like stage name.
No, not stage name, like a different government name.
Okay.
My government name is Samuel, right? I used to go by Lazarus. It's fine.
Did you start laughing?
And then the third one, I once did tryouts for a professional football team, but I didn't make it.
So
What is it?
fight on the way from baptism.
On your way to get baptized.
No, on my way
Back.
back.
Back from getting baptized.
Either ways, yeah, on my way back from
It
baptism.
didn't work. I'm joking.
We need to dip him in some
Dip
more
him
water.
again.
Dunk him again. Okay. And then the second one was his other government name used to be Lazarus.
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 Yes.
Lazarus.
Oh, okay.
Why did you laugh when
I'm
he said
locking
that?
in. Because he laughed.
Yeah.
I'm locking the lie in as. Wait, what was number 3? Sorry.
Number 3 was I once did
Oh, yeah,
tryouts
trials
for football, but I didn't make it.
Okay, I'm just gonna lock
Are you
in.
looking at me like
I'm
that?
gonna just lock in the lie randomly
Yeah.
Yeah.
as number 3.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
looking in number 1.
So you don't think he got into the fight?
No, number 1 was to get into a fight.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer? And is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in number 3 as the lie.
No, wait. Oh, discernment.
She doesn't know anything about my football life, clearly. But yeah, go on.
Okay, yeah, I'll lock in the first one. Because that's what I went with first.
So the correct one, the lie out
Yeah.
of the 3 is I never tried out for football.
Oh, I'm so up.
Oh, well
I am
done.
so the spirit of the Lord is upon me.
No, but that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I think basketball would have made more sense.
Yeah.
No, but
Football.
I'd play more football than basketball. Like I
Oh,
love
but you
football,
never tried.
and I wanted that was a dream for me
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
a professional footballer.
So,
I guess now my son just has to be the one.
well,
to be the
amen.
footballer.
Yeah, he can make that dream come true. So you didn't try out.
No, I didn't try it.
So you did get into a fight when you was.
Yes.
Oh my
Can
God,
you
tell us about
story
that? Yeah, tell us about
Story
that.
time.
So I had my baptism.
When was this? Like how long? ago?
I was probably like 17 years old then. I had the baptism. It was at a river. And then I was on my way back from home feeling brand new.
Holy Spirit,
And then
Filled.
there's this guy in my street then that we always used to we just didn't like each other. And then on my way back from baptism, he got into a fight with me on the way close to my house. And he threw the first punch and then
Oh wait, it was a physical fight.
Yes.
Oh my God, I thought you meant I thought it was like an argument.
You would have said
No.
argument.
Oh yeah, true.
No, like an actual fight.
I wasn't thinking
Like
of
he
fight,
threw the
for
first
real.
punch and then I held him at the neck because I was taller than him.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
held him and I was about to start raining punches and then I just remembered I just got baptized. It was one of the most painful days of my life because I stood there and watched him rain punches after punches on me. And I was like,
I can't even hit him.
can't even hit him back. Not because in my head I'm like, I could absolutely destroy
Sure
you
hit.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, easily.
But I just got,
I'm a new
I just
man.
got watched. I'm a new man, innit? So it was so painful.
You know what? That
It's
reminds
like-
me of when Jesus came out of the wilderness and finished fast. Was it when he finished fasting and then the enemy tried to
Yeah.
tempt him basically? So you
Yeah.
literally tried to tempt
That-
him
yeah,
straight
it
away.
was, it was crazy. It was
It's like if only the baptism was tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like, I could punch, I could
I
punch
got
him
the
up.
quick swinging. Yeah.
Literally.
Do you know how that guy's doing now?
No. I have no idea where he's at. I have no idea. It was a long time ago, but it's one of those fights that I was so pained that I didn't engage in because I know I could absolutely beat the crap out of this guy.
Do you know what? It's so funny because as you were saying that story, I literally remember the time in school when my school was doing this thing where, you have like first warning, second warning, and then
Yeah.
final warning, like you get permanently excluded.
Yeah.
I was on like my second warning. So if I got if I did something else, then that was it, like permanently excluded. I remember at the time I was on my way to school and there was this girl that was from a different school.
Yeah.
And our two schools were like fighting each other basically. Anyways, it was so weird. I don't even know if I want to say the story time, but I'll share because this was years ago. But anyway, someone passed away from her school and I must have made a Facebook page like in his memory. And she wasn't happy about that because she was like, why, like we're ops basically, why are you making the page? But I just felt so sorry because he literally got like stabbed and stuff and it was like a really sad story. Anyways, I've got on the bus to go to school. I've come. She's got on the bus to go to school as well because her school's like quite close to mine. Anyways, I've come off the bus now, and this girl, beats me up, bro. Like she beats me up, and it's crazy because, bruv, I can fight. Don't get it twisted. I can throw hands in it. But I was like, bruv, if I engage in this fight, I'm gonna get permanently excluded. My mum's going to finish me if I get permanently excluded. And at the time, my mum actually
just
wanted
take it.
Yeah, my mum actually wanted to send me to Eltham Hill, an all-girls school, which was up the road from me. And I remember from that fight, I literally she somehow like scratched my face. So for like 5 years, I had this line down my face for ages, and I was just so angry because I was just like, if I just fought her back and like defended myself, then I could have like dodged the scar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and imagine you've got off the school, like you've got off the bus to go to school, literally about 2-minute walk to school, and I just got beaten up, bruv. And obviously everyone else has come off the bus, so everyone's seen it happen. Like it was so techie. But I say this all to say I'm still glad that I didn't get excluded. And the thing is, another thing that I was thinking was if I got excluded, I think she used to go to that school, but then she started going to, what's that school when it's not a school?
Don't know. What does that mean?
It's not a school, but it's where all the bad kids go.
Detention?
No, I forgot what it's called. There's a name for it. There's a name for it.
Prison?
It's not an actual school. It's basically like where all the bad kids go, but it's not an actual school. Is it called, it's beginning with A? I can't remember, but she went to there. But I was thinking, bro, if I get permanently excluded, I'm probably going to
Go to that school.
Yeah. She's going to beat me up again. That's me, bro. It's probably best that I didn't fight her back because now I can stay in my own school, bro.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
I need to text my friend and figure out what that name is called. But
I feel like we kind of skipped the introduction.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, Limo, thank you
Yeah.
for coming on Under the Bed. Lovely to have you.
Thank you guys for having me. We've been talking about this for a long time, so I'm glad to be here.
It's nice to finally make it happen.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know you, who are you?
My actual name is Samuel Imo. I'm an artist. What else do I do? Let me just say I'm a businessman.
Oh, period.
But yeah, that's pretty much who I am. I'm an artist. I'm a guy who loves Jesus, and
Amen.
that is probably the most glaring thing about me is my faith. So yeah, that's who I am.
That's who you are. When you say you're a businessman, like what things have you delved into? Because I think a lot of people probably know the artist side of you, but in terms of the business, like what things are you doing?
So
Can you speak about them?
a bit,
A little bit, okay.
Yeah, in my life, I've had so many instances where I delved into a business here or there, because I think it's part of like where I'm from. I'm Igbo, so business is part of who we are. I remember my first time moving to Lagos. I don't think there's anything that I did not sell while I was in Lagos. If you needed shirts, I was your guy. If you needed to buy a mattress, I was your guy.
What?
Like I was
That's range.
Yeah, I was doing everything when I first moved to Lagos because I was like trying to survive in it. So I was like, whatever it is that I could make a profit of
I'ma do it.
legally, I would do it. But right now, aside music, my own music, I have my own company. I have artists that are signed to me.
Nice.
Wow.
Trying to push them and make all of that work. I do merchandise stuff
for sure.
here and there too. I'm actively getting into the film. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Into the film industry, and I think that is something that I want to delve deeply into. But yeah, I mean, buying and selling, if it's legal, you find me there.
I'ma do it.
But in terms of the music side, because obviously you're an artist, how did that start? Like, how did that all unravel? Did you want to be that when you were younger?
It's crazy because I always have this vivid memory of me when I was about like 8-9 years old. Before all of this music and everything, I remember having a dream, like an actual dream as a child, where I was on stage and there were thousands of people in front of me.
Wow.
At that point, I didn't even know I was gonna do music, but I had that dream and it's been in my mind for as long as I can remember. And I grew up in a music-loving family. Saturdays were my favorite days as a kid because when I wake up in the morning, we had loud music blasting through the speakers in the house and everybody was going about doing their chores. The Westlife CDs, Michael Jackson CDs, really went through hell in our hands growing up. I think the first time that it clocked to me where I sat and I was like, okay, maybe I want to be an artist. I think I was 14 years old because I remember watching TV and seeing Justin Bieber.
Oh my
He
God.
was
That's her favorite.
Love Justin
he was
Bieber.
13 at the time. It was just
Yeah.
about when he got discovered.
started, yeah.
And he was on TV and I was like, oh yeah, I could be like him too. And that was, I think that was the first time that I really started to nurture the idea of maybe I could be an artist. But it wasn't really a thing until maybe when I was done with high school. But I was making music and writing music for fun, and just all of my friends could write music, so we're just doing it for fun. Until maybe when I was done with high school, I was like, okay, maybe I really want to do this. That inspired me in a way, seeing a kid like myself, because I remember thinking, I'm just a year older than him. And he is doing it. I was like, okay, maybe I could do this too. Yeah. But in terms of me really going into, that was the first time that I nurtured the idea of wanting to make music or the idea of being an artist. Because before then, the whole thing about being an artist was a concept that was really far, it wasn't within my reach.
You felt like it was far-fetched.
Yeah, it was
basically.
far-fetched.
Like,
I couldn't
how am
conceive
gonna
it
do
then.
that? Yeah.
Yes, until seeing him on TV. But at the point that I really got into music, I had a number of other people who really inspired me. Lecrae for one, yes.
Okay. So did your music always start off, because obviously you're a Christian
Yeah.
Afrobeats artist,
Yeah.
I would say. Did it always start off that way, or is that something you transitioned into?
No, it didn't always start off that way, but I wasn't far from there, to be honest, because like,
What do you mean?
in terms of the kind of music that I was writing then, because music at the end of the day for me was always a means of communication, and I'm only able to communicate what I know. And at that point, I didn't know so much other than, because I've always been a church kid.
Yeah.
So even if I was gonna write love songs then, it would
clean?
definitely sound clean, as pure as possible. And to be honest, the love songs that influenced us then as kids were clean. Westlife was clean.
Yeah.
Most of the guys who wrote songs then, it was really clean. It had substance to it. So I didn't start off as that. So to me, I was just writing music until I remember meeting some of my friends one day and they told me about Christian hip hop. And I didn't know what Christian rap was. Because I was in school and I was writing raps as like, I'm fly, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like just making stuff rhyme. And then my friends told me about Christian rap and I was like, what is this Christian rap? And then they recommended some artists to me. They recommended Lecrae and some other guys. And then I got to listen. And then the moment for me was I remember sitting in my house one day playing 2 Lecrae songs on repeat, Boasting and Background, and I found myself crying. And I'm like,
Wow.
why am I crying listening to rap songs?
No way.
Oh my gosh.
And then in that moment, it was a real experience for me. I felt closer to Jesus than I've ever felt. And then I remember having a conversation with Jesus saying, I want to be able to do this with you and in your name. I want to be able to make people feel this way about you. And
Through my own music.
that's where it really started for me.
that.
It's so funny that you mentioned telling your friends about Lecrae, because for me, as a young Christian girl trying to wean her way off more secular music and trying to listen to more gospel, more edifying, more clean music, I was drawn to your music. I remember my sister,
100%.
my sister put me on and then I started to put my friends on.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting how you've gone from stating people's names to being the person that people state.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I think about that a lot, because like I usually would tell people that if there was no Lecrae, I don't think there would be a Limo Blaze today.
Wow.
So, and I use that to justify a lot of the things that I get into ministry wise, because we just did an Africa an African tour. We did like 7 countries, and a lot of people don't know this, but touring Africa is very difficult. In terms of the finance, unless you're packing out arenas, you are making
Peanuts.
no money,
Oh yeah.
or you're actually
Wait, why?
Probably because like of the ticket sales.
Yeah,
like,
there
how
isn't like
expensive it-
there isn't like proper structures, and then the ticket sales don't match. Especially in Nigeria, it's worse.
Well, I don't get it. What
Like
does that
even
mean?
if you sell out the entire venue,
Yeah.
you were not even gonna break even.
When you think about the exchange rate, how much things cost,
Yeah.
like you can't sell a ticket in Nigeria for £30 like how you can.
No,
here,
you can't.
'cause it's
You
going to
can't.
be way more.
You got to sell it
expensive.
in naira, and then the things you got to use, you have to use for the events. They're so expensive. So no matter, even if you sell out your venue and tickets, you are not even going to break even.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say that to say I'm able to justify a lot of my expenses when I'm doing outreach, touring, in the sense that I tell myself that if me doing a concert in Lagos is able to inspire or activate one person, then an entire generation can be affected by that one person. Because for everything Lecrae did, like I said, if there was no Lecrae, there wouldn't be a Limoblaze today. And look what Limoblaze has gone on to do.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to inspire one kid and I spend all of my money and come home broke,
It's worth it. Yeah.
it's totally worth it if that one kid is going to go out and be able to touch generations.
Do you ever like receive hate or backlash? Like,
Always.
You get hate.
you get hate?
Always.
About what?
What?
Are you joking?
About what though?
Yeah, like what do people say?
Oh, yeah, I don't know about this. Like, first of all, the earliest part of my journey was filled with a lot of pushback, a lot of, I don't know if I'll use the word hate, but my biggest ops was the church.
Okay. Why do you
Yes.
think that is?
Yeah. Is it because of the type of music?
Yeah, it's the type of music, one, and at the end of the day, humans, when they don't understand something and cannot put it in a box, they tend to try to oppose it, even in Christendom. Some of the toughest days of my life, I've told this story a few times, but one of the most embarrassing days of my life was in church. I was singing in church and someone came and took the mic off of me in front of the entire congregation
Shut up.
and told me to get out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like it.
Yes.
They didn't
And
agree with it or what?
they said, oh, my sound is weird for the church.
What?
And I was 16.
Oh my
And this guy, the guy that did this to me, he was like, at that time, he was almost in his 40s. So imagine someone very much older than you doing that to you. I was a 16-year-old kid, and I'm a very well brought up kid. I don't disrespect people.
Yeah.
But that day, I broke down crying, and that was one of the first times I really spoke out of character to someone who was older than me, because I was in tears. I was bawling. I never forget that day. I had a white long sleeve and a black pants on.
You remember what
I'm telling you, I was bawling like tears. And I looked at him, I said, you will look at me, I will make music, and you will watch
Wow.
me on your TV.
It's so interesting that you went that way, because someone else could be like, do you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not doing
Yeah,
this
that could have
anymore.
killed your dream, basically.
Could've.
Yeah,
Your
it could
calling.
have. And to be honest, if with all that I know right now, whatever I said out of my flesh, out of the anger of my flesh.
Definitely. It's
Yeah.
good that you can identify that.
Yeah, but I told him, was like, I'm gonna make music and you're gonna watch me on your TV.
Well, you're
And
correct.
It happened.
Well, there's power in the tongue.
Yeah, literally.
There's power
It
in the
happened,
tongue.
but it was a really tough day for me. Imagine being embarrassed in front of an entire church
Yeah, yeah.
of
And the thing is,
1,000
like,
plus people. Yeah.
Everyone's watching. Like, that's too much.
Oh yeah.
That's too much. How did you navigate like those feelings and your relationship with God? Like, did you lean on him in that time? Like,
I think the good thing for me, shout out to my parents, it's that my relationship with God it was never dependent on people. Like, my name is Samuel for a reason, because I've been talking to God since I was a kid. So it's like, because I've seen things in church that if a regular person sees, you will lose your faith.
Wow.
But my relationship has always been one that was like directly with God. So I could be mad at the person. I could be mad at even that particular church gathering, but I was never going to it was never going to affect my relationship with God. And the thing is, I've always had a relationship with God where I could really vent to him. Like some of my venting stories to God are some of the funniest. I'll tell you this one, quick story.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, when I started making music at first, all of my friends who used to make music with me as kids, they would use their money to buy like the flyers clothes, flyers kicks. I was spending all of my money on studio sessions.
Wow.
So
hungry.
I literally had two pairs of clothes. And I was doing concerts every weekend. It was so bad that, you know how as an artist you have to have like an official photograph, like a portrait that people could use for flyers.
Yeah.
It was so bad that I would go to an event and then the flyer would be at the entrance of the event and it would look like I literally walked out the flyer because the same clothes I had in the flyer.
Oh my God, you're wearing
I'm wearing the same clothes there. Yeah, and I remember one of the most embarrassing days of my life. You know how kids don't have kids are like, they don't have a filter. I remember being at a concert. I was outside the church and then this little girl looks at me loud in front of everybody and says, "Come, you, is it only this one clothes you have?" And everybody broke out laughing.
Oh no.
I never forget the clothes.
You can't even slap the kid. You can't just laugh.
No, you can't. And I never forget the clothes I had on that day. Blue long sleeve. No, purple long sleeve shirt. I went back home and I burnt that shirt.
That outfit.
Yeah, I burnt it.
Oh, you said never again.
Never again. And then I remember going home that day, looking in the mirror, crying and venting to God. And I was like, I was so angry. I was so angry and I was telling God, you have to do something. Change this. Change my story now. Do you feel like you vent to God a lot?
Yeah, but I feel like it's good to do that. Like even when you look in the Bible, you look at Psalms, you look at Lamentations, you look at all these different things. Like it was people crying out to God in their frustration. And like who better to cry out than to God? Rather than like in your fleshly state, you're crying out to your friends, your family, even though you can do that. But I think crying out to God is good. It helps.
I think for me, there was a period of time where I preferred to vent to my friends because I could get an immediate response. But I think that when you're further along on your spiritual journey and you have like a deeper understanding of the way he works, like sitting in stillness, like he will speak. He speaks. You just have to give him time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he hears every single word. And I think just getting that understanding now, where I am now, I can just speak to him. I can just vent to him. And venting for me can sometimes be like outwardly, like I do speak, it can look crazy, but sometimes I actually just vent in my mind, like, and I know I'm still speaking to him. Do you know what I mean? But that's crazy. Yeah, that is so crazy. That is hilarious. I remember the story you're saying. Actually, I don't know. This is gonna make no sense. Yeah. But I remember this time when I was in secondary school and I used to hang out with these two girls. I'm still like, I still follow them on Instagram and stuff. Like we're not friends, like we're not friends like in each other's lives, but I'd still say we were cool. Yeah. I remember at the time, we were all hanging out at one of the girls' houses, and them two, I don't know if this story is making sense, but the two girls, let's just call them Sarah and
Shalom.
Why are you doing this to me?
Tolu's government.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was Sarah and Shalom. And basically, one of the girls, Sarah, let's just say Sarah, well, both of them wanted to order pizza. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, they're going to go halves on this pizza. And I'm just looking at them like, well, my mum don't give me pocket money, innit? So
my God.
I ain't got money to add to this, innit? Anyway, so Sarah and Shalom, ordered the pizza. The pizza comes. And then Sarah was like, oh, like, do you want some of the pizza? Like, and I was like, oh, like, yes, please. Because I'm not, I know I didn't put into this, but so I'm not just going to take it. But she offered.
You have to wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mind you, Sarah was a vegetarian, innit? So I didn't actually want
her pizza.
I wanted the pepperoni, the pepperoni and mozzarella. But the girl that had the pepperoni and mozzarella, the way she looked at me, she made me feel so uncomfortable.
What, because you said yes?
No, but like, as in like, because I was looking at her pizza and just, wait, I wasn't looking at her pizza like, looking at her pizza. But I was just kind of like, we're all together, like, we're just and I was just looking at the pizza like, and like, she just didn't offer. And like, and I think the other girl was like, oh, like, can Dest have some of your pizza? And she's like, go on. But it was so, and I felt so like crippled.
Wait, did you have it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my
Shame
days.
destiny.
What?
It's one of them ones you have to go home hungry. You have to.
Oh.
Got to firm
I
it.
got to firm it. No,
Gotta
but the
firm
thing is, I literally remember that moment and I was like, bruv, like,
I would never be broke
I
again.
would never be broke again. Listen, like, I can't lie, yeah. When I got my NI number, I was like, it's time to make some money. Like, it's time to make some money. Do you know what I mean? But that whole feeling, obviously, is different from the clothes thing. But that feeling of being like, nah, something's got to change. Something has got to change because I don't want to feel this way again. Do you remember when? I can't remember whether it was Facebook or BBM, but I remember there was a period of time where, like, on Christmas Day, everyone would literally organize all their gifts. Everyone would just put every single gift they got, take a picture, and either post it on Facebook or post it on BBM. I think it was Facebook though. This was back in the Facebook days. And I remember on Christmas Day, I'd just be looking at everyone's post, just sad. Like, and the thing is, I remember one Christmas, you know what I did? What? I gathered my sister's presents and my presents.
Please don't
I even remember one time my sister got an iPhone. Mind you, it wasn't my iPhone. And I took a picture of the box and I was like, new phone. And I remember I went to school and everyone was like, well, where's your phone? Like, what did you didn't think that far. You didn't think that far. But it's so interesting how, like, when you're younger, you can just feel so, like, not behind, but like you can feel like you haven't got what everyone else has.
Yeah, and I think it's hard because you don't have your own money. You're relying on other people who are literally trying their best. And now I realize how much things cost. Like, no, I won't buy you the most expensive thing. Like, things are expensive. Like,
I need to give you food on the table, not an iPhone. But what would you guys say to your younger selves in those moments?
I mean, looking at even like when I talk to like younger people who and I see them stressing over things, I'm just like, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna look back on these things, and then you're gonna laugh about it. Because when you were in that situation at that time, it feels like all hell is breaking loose. It feels like at that moment, it feels like this is the epic center of your life, and nothing else makes sense. But in the future, you look at the things you used to stress about, and then you realize that, because like I had a point where I used to stress about clothes. And it's funny now because I cannot stress about clothes right now. But at that point in my life, it meant everything to me. Yeah. So I tell young people around me, I'm just like, whatever you're stressing about right now, I promise you in 5 to 10 years,
it's not gonna matter.
It's not.
Sorry guys, I keep saying story times, but when he said that, I just thought of another time, where I was doing football in school. I was part of the girls' football team. And then I needed boots, innit? So I was like, Mom, like, I need to get boots. Like, get me some nice ones. Yeah. This lady came back with Umbros. And I was like, this is all like,
literally.
At the time, I was like, oh my days. Like, why have you got the Umbros?
Like, this is me, like, when we were young, and we're going to like Shoe Zone, and we're getting like these ugly shoes, and it's like, but it's like, literally, but they're doing the best that, like, parents do the best they can.
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't grow up in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Even getting used to that. If you see my suits when I was a kid.
Wait, what was wrong with them?
Oh, I could wear them for 7 years.
They were massive.
They were massive.
You'll grow into it.
My mom's just gonna be like, you will grow into it. You will grow. Everything was big.
And I think it's worse when you're like a younger sibling as well, because everything just gets passed down as well.
Yeah, hand-me-downs, I was going to say, you're actually our first married guest on the pod.
Oh, nice.
And I think you celebrated your 3-year anniversary?
Yeah, like last week.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
What 3 things have you learned in your 3 years of marriage?
Ooh. Let me
things that you really didn't know before, and then it was only when you got into marriage that you learned it.
Few things that I know now, and I would tell any younger person who isn't married, because like I know the things I used to stress about before I got married. I remember my uni days. I used to. Sex is a thing. When I was in my uni days, I used to stress about a lot, because I'm like, I used to have like a lot of questions. I'm like, how is this gonna be? How is this gonna turn out? Would I be able to So many thoughts that runs through a young man's mind.
Yeah.
And any young guy who's listening to me right now, I just tell you, look, you're gonna have all the time in the world.
Amen.
Amen. You're gonna have all the time in the world to
explore
that. You'll be fine. Trust me, you will be fine. You have all the time in the world to explore that. I'll tell any young guy out there, discipline, the best time to practice it is before you get married.
Yeah.
When you get married, you probably see and encounter way more temptations than you encounter when you were single. So your best time to practice discipline is now, if you're not married. What would be a third thing that I would say that I found in marriage? This might be a controversial one. And I'm trying to duck controversy.
Nah, say it.
The third one that I would say is to be a good husband, to be a faithful spouse, to be a committed spouse. I don't think you can do it without Jesus.
Wow.
I would say that.
Why?
Some people, why I say it's going to be a controversial one, because people are going to be like, oh, yeah, but I know people who are not Christians.
Yeah.
But that's your opinion.
Yeah. Because everything that you need to embody in marriage, the only perfect example for that is Jesus.
Fair.
So, like, because I speak to friends or married friends, girls, and they'll always be like, there are no good guys out there, and I'm like, you just need to find a God-fearing guy. I feel like it's not the guys that God, I was about to say not the guys that the devil is scared of. The ones that are actually genuinely God-fearing. I feel like anything that would be a fear for you as a young person who's trying to venture into marriage, if you are with somebody who genuinely loves God and is surrendered to God, it completely solves everything.
So do people still hit on you knowing you're married?
Yeah, it happens.
Knowing you're married?
I guess that doesn't stop some people,
That's
innit?
crazy though.
That's crazy.
But so this is the thing though, I don't think it's as bad for myself as some of my Christian friends, because I've come to learn that I don't have a very approachable face.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair enough.
So
it stops it right there.
I've learned over time, because I didn't know this. It's just like talking to my friends and with people, and then I realized that my friends would say I have the resting, face. That, and I don't even know, because like I'm like the friendliest person ever. But I go on tour and I'm on the road and people are scared to come say hi to me. They would rather go talk to my MD and ask my MD if they can come take a picture with me. And I'm not thinking. My face is always like, yeah. So I feel like that kind of draws a high line for me, where you just have to really be a stubborn goat to cross that line and try to.
Yeah, I think it's good because it like stops that whole like overly friendliness thing, and there's such a thin line. Like there's friendly, and then there's that line that just kind of gets a lot of people in trouble, kind of gets blurred.
Yeah. And you really can have a 5 minutes conversation with me without hearing my wife.
Yeah,
good. Yeah, you better drop that in there. Yeah. Okay, cool. So these questions are based on our Instagram followers. We put a little box saying, what would you love to ask Limo Blaze? Let's pick a juicy one.
What is your biggest fear?
That's a tough one. Because it's different if we're talking about phobias, like just like regular phobias, things that I have phobias for. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of water. I don't go into... Yes.
Like you don't swim?
I'm 6'3". I almost drowned in a 5 feet pool.
Oh my God.
Yes. I am scared of water. So I don't mess with water. But
I hear it. Do you have any fears about performing, or have you always been a performer? Like, has that ever been scary?
Performance anxiety is always a thing. I don't count it as a fear. I like to separate the two. Performance anxiety makes you want to give your best. It makes you want to make sure, oh, this goes well. Fear is like a deep, creeping sensation. And fear is ungodly because fear says, my trust is in myself. And my trust is not in myself. My trust is in God. So I cannot fear.
Amen.
But performance anxiety, of course, I've been on stages over 1,000 times in my life. I've been performing since I was a kid. But every time before I go on stage, I have anxiety.
Every time?
Every time.
Wow.
But as soon as I say the first thing in the microphone and get on stage, it goes away.
Good.
Now you're flowing. Yeah.
It goes away.
Did you have any slip-ups when waiting till marriage?
Slip-ups? What's that?
That's what the question says.
I'll tell you this. Did I go into marriage pure? No. I went into marriage a virgin. But as in terms of the purity, I wasn't pure. I did stuff. Sadly.
I did some stuff.
Oh no, like things that it's like a sin in it. And I regret
sin
it.
Is sin.
But, I went into marriage pretty much a virgin, but I wasn't pure. On the part of the aspect of purity, I didn't have purity going into it.
Fair.
Yeah. So I guess
Any
you can
advice
consider
for young
those
men
sleep-ups.
struggling in that area?
Like I said earlier, I was like, you're gonna have all the time in the world to explore and do everything. So my idea of marriage, and like when I tell people, when I have these conversations about what God's idea for marriage and sex is supposed to be, it's supposed to be two people who are exploring this for the first time. Because when you're in marriage, you have all the time in the world. All the time in the world. I mean, you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life, isn't it? So it's like the time is there to practice whatever your mind is.
Wherever your mind is going.
Yeah, so there's enough time for you, like, just chill. And I'll tell young people also is, I said this earlier, discipline. If you were not, because I used to be in uni and my friends would be like, oh, when I get married, I'm going to stop sleeping around and that. And I'm like, no, you are not.
Yeah.
No, you are not. If you are not able to resist all of that now as a young man, what makes you think you're going to resist it in marriage?
Yeah, I feel like people think when you get married, it's just like a light switch and it's just like, no, things practiced outside of marriage are only going to continue when you enter marriage.
Yeah. That's so scary, like cheating and like infidelity and stuff, because that's how it happens. And that's why people are like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I've done this. Well, you were doing it before. If you were cheating on your girlfriend, then you can cheat on your wife.
Yes.
Easily.
I've got one. How do you stay grounded in your faith whilst navigating the music business?
One, I surround myself with community, which is very important. A lot of the people around me are people who have known me for a long time of my life. So they don't see the artist. They don't see, quote unquote, a celebrity. I'm always going to be the guy that they knew, that they grew up with. So some of my best friends, I grew up with them. They've seen me go through life from being a regular kid in the streets to being the artist that I am today. They don't have any sort of special reverence for me as like, oh, you're this. And my community, I only have a community of believers. Everybody who is around me is a believer.
Do you think that's important?
Oh, it's very important. Yeah, it is. Even in marriage, like when you have, if as a married man, you're keeping friends that are sleeping around, it's only a matter of time before you start doing it.
Birds of a feather, flock
together.
So my married friends are people who are also wrestling in the faith with me. They're like people who would honor their wives, who would go out of the way to honor their wives. And we're able to chat, have conversations. Community is so important. It helps you stay grounded, to be honest, because it's very easy for me to travel around the world, be on stage, and be faced with the adoration from people from time to time. I like the feeling of getting off that stage and talking to my friends, and like they don't care if you just did 10,000 people. They don't care. They literally do not care.
I think you need people like that to keep you humble. Otherwise, your head will just get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Like that's why I have Tolu around. I'm joking.
I've got another question.
Go for it.
To what extent has fame changed your life and your walk with God?
Ooh.
Fame hasn't changed who I am as a person. It hasn't. sometimes I forget that I'm an artist. Sometimes I'm on the train and somebody's like, "Are you Limo Blaze?" And the funniest thing that happens to me all the time is I run into people and they'll be like, "Oh, you look like this artist called Limo Blaze." Oh. Because in their subconscious, there's no way you should be here right now. And there's no way you should be dressing, looking this normal. Right now, because people expect you to always look like you're in a music video. I'm
just a regular guy.
But I always forget until that happens. I'm like, oh yeah, people know me, right? I always. So fame hasn't changed who I am, because as soon as I get off stage, and even when I'm on stage, my mind is so focused on this is ministry. I'm trying to reach out to somebody. I'm trying to minister truth to somebody here today. But as soon as I get off the stage, my life is pretty regular. The people that I'm surrounded by, pretty regular people. I love making music, yes, but everything other than that, my life is pretty regular. I don't think fame has changed me. Has it changed my life? Yes, in a way.
Hasn't it changed your life massively?
So this is the thing. In various pockets and in relativity, I've been famous for a really long time. Oh. So even like locally famous, because it's a thing.
Yeah.
Because the city that I grew up in, I was so popular. It was a small town, but I was like really popular in town. In my uni days, I was one of the most popular kids in school.
So it's like, I'm used to this.
So I'm kind of...
Ain't really a newcomer.
I'm not a newcomer.
I'm not really a newcomer.
No, but it's a thing of I was famous for a long time. I'm broke.
Oh, fair.
So the fame is not the new thing.
It's the money.
Oh, so you got
when
the money.
When you say it like that, no. When you say no. I would say life got, in terms of finance, I'm not rich, but I could have a 3 square meal in it. So I could afford it. No, like for real. But like, I'm saying that to say the part of the being famous hasn't really affected me, because I've been used to that for like a really long time. It's almost like, because like I remember people always ask me, how do you feel when people come to ask you for pictures? And I'm like, I don't feel any way. It's normal. Because I've been getting this for as long as I can remember. Even when I was just like a guy walking the streets in my town. I was trekking my town when I couldn't afford bus.
Damn.
You know, the day that I decided I was going to leave my town was I was trekking. I didn't have money for a bus. And the bus driver drove past me and shouted my name, Limo Blaze. I was like, yeah, I need to leave this town now. Because you can't be this popular and be broke.
Yeah. It's not adding up.
It's not
making sense.
I had to get out. But yeah, that aspect has been there for a long time. But there has been a lot of blessings that come with it, yeah? And I'm grateful for that.
Have you, like, what do you do when you're in a spiritually bad place, but you have to perform?
That's a good question.
So the thing about touring doesn't happen out of the blue. You've probably planned it for a while, right? So you have to make sure you're in the right frame of mind before going on tour. So physically, spiritually, but yeah, you could have a down moment, and which is why I always surround myself with believers. If I'm having a down moment, I'm gonna pray with my bros in it. So having a spiritually down moment, it's not something that you should get stuck in, because prayers can get you out of that. All you need to do is go back to the basics, get on your knees, pray. Like, go to the root of this. Why am I feeling this way? What's the disconnect? Like, what's happening? Because I'm someone who I'm always reminded of the fact that if I'm feeling a spiritual disconnect, it's not because God walked away from me. It's most likely I walked away from God. So how do I walk back to him? Yeah.
That's good.
I feel like people think God is like so far away. Like every time they kind of have that disconnect, they think he's so far, but it's like he's actually so close. Like it just takes that one little thing to just get you back. Yeah. So interesting.
I really like that. I never really thought about it in a way that if I feel a disconnect, it's because I've walked away.
Yeah.
It's there. All is there.
I've got a question. This is not an Instagram question. Okay. This is just a question that I thought of. Have you ever wanted to give up music? Like, has there been anything that's ever happened that's just made you think like, I'm done with this?
Yes.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, I gave up music one time.
When? Why?
So I had an artist that I always looked up to as a kid. I've had 2 incidents where I almost gave up. The other one I did give up. I'm someone who can't go a day without making music, but I went like 4 months without making music because I was done in my head. I was done. I gave up. I was an artist that I always looked up to, and then you know how you finally get a chance to meet the artist you've always looked up to. As a matter of fact, I was on my own, and he came into my DMs and said, come meet me here. And I remember leaving everything that I was doing, taking an Uber, rushing to go meet him at the hotel. I remember waiting at the hotel for like 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, for him, because he had an event that day. I was in the hotel lobby for hours.
Drop the name.
No,
I'm joking. That's just what Tolu
says.
I was waiting for hours, and then I remember going out with him to the event, watching him minister, coming back from the event, and we took pictures. And I remember him asking me that...
What?
We took pictures, and I remember he offered me some money.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I don't want money. And then he was like, gave me his contact, and it was like, he gave me loads of praise. He said, you're so talented, this, that. And he said, if there's ever anything that I think he can do for me, that I should tell him. And I was like, yeah. And then I remember going back home, and now bear in mind, I lived in a very small town. It doesn't take time for news to go around. And I remember him posting pictures with me. And you know this thing here where you're like in the hood and everyone is thinking he's about to get out of the hood.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this famous person just posted a picture with him and said good things about him. And then it's like, okay, so this is what I would do. Because I was a smart kid. I didn't just ask for anything. I give it time. Like every month, every holiday, I would send him a text, Happy New Month. You know,
marinate,
yeah, I was keeping up. And then I remember making the song, and I was like, oh, if he gave me a verse on this, my life would change.
Yeah.
And then I remember calling him, and I was like, and then he picked up, and bear in mind, he would always respond to my text and everything before then. I remember calling him, and I was like, oh, so I have this song that I think that if you get on, it would do a lot for me. Because I mean, you said, if there's anything you could do for me.
Like you said it.
You said it.
You said it. Remember you said it.
And then I remember him dropping the call, and then he was like, send it. Then he drops the call, and then after he dropped the call, I was like, wait, how do I send it? This wasn't a time when WhatsApp was a thing.
Oh, okay.
Like there wasn't a way to send files. I didn't have his email.
No WeTransfer. No.
There wasn't WeTransfer then.
Dropbox?
No, it wasn't Dropbox. There was something else that was kind of popular then.
Okay.
I can't remember.
But you didn't have it.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Pigeon.
I can't remember the name,
silly.
but I remember dropping the call and thinking, how do I send it to him? I was like, oh wait, let me call him back and ask him how. So I called him back, then he didn't pick up.
Oh.
Called him a second time, he didn't pick up. I was like, okay, but I'm a smart kid, innit? So I went to find a file sharing site, uploaded the song, and sent him a text with the link. Okay. No response. And then I gave it like a couple of days, tried calling him, he didn't pick up. This person would usually pick up my call, no?
Yeah.
Sent him a text, no response. The stuff went on for months, and I started to lose my mind.
Because it's like you approached me, you asked me.
And then I think I was still in my teen years then. I was like 19 then. And then it now got to a point where in my head I was like, shoot, I think I offended him.
Oh, so now you start thinking it must have been something I did.
Wrong.
Yes.
Damn.
So I was not like, I forgot about the song. And then I started sending messages. I was like, I'm so sorry, Saif. There's something I've offended you. Please, can you forgive me?
Yeah.
And this stuff went on for like a year. And I remember WhatsApp then, it went on until WhatsApp started becoming a thing. And I remember sending him a long text on WhatsApp apologizing.
Like
I'm so...
Yeah, literally.
I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't want anything anymore. I just want you to please forgive me for whatever I did. And I remember he read the text because I could see it.
Yeah.
He read the text.
No response.
Have you seen this person since?
Oh, yes.
And still nothing?
Have you had a conversation
about this?
Yeah.
No, but I'll tell you this. So this happened, and then I got depressed.
Wow. It's like you feel rejected.
Yes, I got depressed and I quit music. I told myself I'm never gonna do music again, and I quit. And I went 4 months. This is unlike me. 4 months without writing anything, without making any music. 4 months, and the only way that I got out of it was one day I woke up and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna write a song about this. And I wrote a song about
therapy.
Yeah, that was like therapy for me. I wrote a song about it, and then that was how I was able to move past it. And I remember seeing him for the first time after that, and it was like, oh, Limo, long time.
Oh my!
And I was like,
you acted like nothing happened. Yeah,
like he acted like nothing happened.
Oh, I hate that.
I lost my
So
mind.
he just didn't even
acknowledge it.
No, he didn't acknowledge it.
Wow.
He didn't acknowledge it. But yeah, after then we've gone on to talk. And I'm like, I've moved on from it.
He knows like under the carpet thing.
It's under the carpet, but he knows he did something. You know when you talk with someone sometime and it feels like they're overcompensating.
Okay, yeah.
That's what he does now.
Yeah, that's.
But then how comes you didn't say, hey, like how come, like just call it out basically?
Because I moved past it. Yeah.
Fair. If we're all acting oblivious, then let's all just act oblivious.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like if you're gonna act like you don't know that this happened. And then a thing also was that I found out that I wasn't the only one that this was done to. I got to a point where I felt like this was all about just the Instagram caption.
Picture, yeah. Oh, the caption.
Yeah, it was all about the Instagram caption. It was sad. It was sad for me. But that's like one of two experiences that I've had. The other one that I got really close to because I was really sad. I did a song with an American artist who I used to look up to so much. I was such a fan. And then I remember my manager at that time coming to me and saying, so-and-so person wants to do a song with you. And I was so excited. And then we did the song. And then the song came out. And bro was acting like he didn't just do a song with me.
What do you mean?
Like, no post.
Oh.
Not even an Instagram repost. I'm not asking you for a full post.
Yeah.
Not an Instagram repost. The song was #1 on radios across Africa. Over 100 tweets. Not one retweet.
This is legally blind.
It was so crazy. It was so crazy that people around me used to be like,
what's going on with this guy?
are you sure you didn't just rip this guy's voice off somewhere and
like
put it on your song?
Or something,
And I remember one night around 2 a.m. I was so sad and then I remember being on Twitter like around 2 a.m. and I saw him trying to get the attention of a secular artist. I never forget that day. He was trying, this guy, he's cool. The guy who was trying to get his attention is someone that I love. We've talked and he's a really chill guy, Nonso Amadi. He was trying to get Nonso Amadi's attention.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Nonso Amadi is?
I don't either.
Okay.
Carry on though.
That's crazy. But yeah, but he was trying to get Nonso Amadi's attention and I was so pissed. And I was like, how do you have a song that is #1 on radio across Africa right now? You didn't acknowledge it, not even one retweet, but you were trying to get the attention of Nonso Amadi. You're begging for attention at this point. And I was so pissed. And then I remember sending him an email, like trying to check, like, bro, what's going on? Like, and then he responded to the email.
What did he say?
And then he
you got me on the edge of my seat.
No, like he said so many things that I felt less at that moment. I felt so. One, he was just telling me, you're entitled, you're this, I don't owe you this, da 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 da. And then he ended up, I never forget the last line of it. In Burna Boy's voice, I can't come and kill myself. Emotional damage.
That's how he ended the email.
Yeah, that's how I ended the email.
That's
like
crazy.
in Burna Boy's voice.
Are you really going to kill yourself by retweeting? Like, come on.
That literally takes 2 seconds.
What? It's just common courtesy.
Yeah.
Like, it's etiquette.
We've done
No,
this
but
song
like
together,
today now, like if I do a song with an artist and they don't post it, I don't care. I don't. I'm in hindsight, I may have been felt a bit of entitlement, but I'm human, right? I'm like, I did a song with you.
But wouldn't you want to?
It's just common courtesy, like that.
Yeah. But no, right now with what I know about the music business, I don't care for it. I don't ask for it. If they do it, I'm fine. Cool. If they don't do it, which is why I only do music with my friends, innit? So I don't do music with people that I'm not friends with. Because like I can call my friends and say, yo, I'm posting this by 6 p.m.
Yeah.
You better accept that collaboration by 6 p.m. But yeah, other than that, but I remember getting that email like 2 a.m. and I spent an hour just crying.
Oh my God.
And I was in the studio then because I used to, at that point.
At least you're in touch with your
I was
emotions.
gonna say that. I really like that.
Oh, I cried.
A lot of men don't.
I cried. At
Don't
that point,
say that they cried.
Yeah.
I didn't have a house. Then I had just moved to Lagos. I was sleeping in the studio floors of a friend who was like very kind to let me stay in the studio. And then I remember just getting up like 2 a.m., getting on the piano, and I was in tears and I started writing a song. I wrote a song called My Story, and the chorus then was like, Oluwa changed my story. And that's when I wrote that song. And it's crazy because like that song, from that moment, things started to change for me.
That's like a pinpoint moment.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like Gyro was a pinpoint moment as well.
Oh no, I've had several pinpoint moments.
Several pinpoints.
Several.
Yeah, no, it's
I love
true.
that. I love
My
it.
Story was one, and then when I did my first Afrobeat project, Afrobeat Rap and Jesus, that was one. Gyro was like the really big one. That was the explosion that had everybody checking. But yeah, I was so sad. I cried, but I was able to go through that moment, made a song out of it, and in moments like that, I remember telling God, which is a risky thing to do. You should never do that.
Good.
I gave God an ultimatum.
Wow.
I was like, Lord, I'm to the end of the year. I'm gonna pursue this music to the end of the year. If nothing changes, I'm out. But I was foolish.
Why?
No, you should never say that to God.
I'm asking why to see if you even know why you were foolish.
Oh no, now I know why.
Yeah.
I was foolish to say it, but God is merciful.
Yeah.
He recognizes the level of your foolishness and we just indulge you regardless. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to, you're being foolish, but I'm going to indulge you.
Yeah. Would you say that what would you say you bring to the music industry?
I feel like the most consistent feedback that I get from people is like, oh my God, when I was transitioning in my faith and trying to get serious with my walk with Jesus, your music was there for me. And I feel really good about that because the way that I see my music in various contexts. One is like, I'm playing a position where at the point where you're still moving from point A to B on your fade, I could be like a junction for you to be able to walk the straight and narrow. That's one. Two, the most consistent theme in my music is God's love. So I feel like my music help people to feel closer to God, to feel the depths of God's love in a very melodic way. Also, what I bring to the table is like, I make music that young people. So there's this thing that used to happen when I was a kid growing up. We were not proud to associate with gospel music as kids because we were like, oh, this is not so cool. I'm going out of my way to spend my life savings to make music videos that look so cool that the kids days can go to school and say, oh, I listen to Limo Blaze. And they are confident to say, I listen to Limo Blaze because the music is good. It's the quality is good. Visuals is good.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool to be a Christian.
I feel like the past couple of years there's been a massive shift in Christian music.
Yeah.
So many more artists coming out, like, and you can actually say like, this is cool.
I can play my Christian music with the windows down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Just
And
crunky.
people will be like,
There's a song right now going viral, and because like my little cousin was listening to it, and I was like she's not like, oh, I'm gonna listen to it because it's Christian music.
Yeah.
She just
Do you know
listened
what
to
song
it.
it is?
It's like Forrest Frank. I
Oh,
can't
that's my
remember the
guy.
name, but his song was going viral, and she was like doing the dance, and I'm like,
Oh, I know the song.
Is this like
What
a
song is
TikTok
it?
song?
it's a song that goes, I need you.
Yeah,
more than
ever. Did you put my
It's so cute.
heart together? Yeah.
Now he makes
Yeah,
some.
my
He makes some good
heart,
songs.
Yeah. But she's not listening to it because it's a Christian song.
Yeah.
She's just seen it on TikTok and is dancing to
Look
it.
at that,
And I
but
was
isn't that like
what?
infiltration? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
yeah,
It
and
is.
I think that's such a beautiful thing to be doing because people are singing these lyrics and they don't even know like what they're speaking over themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Limo, it's been a pleasure having you on under
Same
the
here.
bed. We hope that you maybe come back another time as well and join us.
For sure.
Thank you guys for listening, watching, liking, subscribing.
We will see you on the next episodes. Guys, make sure you subscribe. There's so many people that watch but don't
Yeah,
subscribe.
I see all of you guys
We see
watching and not
all of
subscribing.
ya. We love you still, though.
Yeah, we do.
love
You might
still.
not see me on the next episode, but subscribe and turn on the notifications.
Yay!
Do what Limo said.
Do what he said.